It's the NBA Finals, and guess what? We feel like dunking. Yes. All right. So Steve Bannon had an interview with Axios. Axios now has an HBO special. They have their series on there. And I love this interview because Bannon hasn't really gotten much attention lately because he's pretty irrelevant, and Axios called him out on it. Take a look.
I think a cynic might say, okay, Steve Bannon, Trump purged him from American politics, cut him off at the legs, and now he's taken his show to a monastery. He's hanging out in the monastery trying to get crowds in Europe. I mean, is this just because you don't have relevance in American politics?
I think I had, by the way, I think I have a lot of relevance.
Do you though? Do you? So I want to toss to the second part of this conversation. Take a look.
You said you would offer populist parties across Europe the quote, fundamental building blocks for winning, including expertise in polling, data analytics, messaging and get out the vote efforts, along with the development of media surrogates, campaign war rooms, rapid response. Quite a plan you had there. Have you executed it?
We got our lawyers involved, and with election laws in Europe, I'm not so sure that we can actually provide that.
How many campaign war rooms did you set up?
We had our overall war room, but we were told we couldn't do the war rooms either.
Sounds like you haven't done anything.
No, that's absolutely not true. If you go back and talk to the individual parties, we've done tremendous.
Who should we talk to? What do you think Salvini would say?
I think Salvini said, hey, these guys are solid guys, and they've given us a lot of overall advice.
So we spoke to Salvini. Salvini said he's spoken to you twice in his life. Barely knows you.
Well, I mean,
but is that true with Salvini? He said he's only spoken to you twice ever.
I think maybe 3 or 4 times. We've talked to Salvini 3 or 4 times.
Oh, that was an utter destruction. Oh, that felt good. Jonathan Swan, nice work. Excellent work.
And I have to say, like, his calm demeanor and also his accent was a nice touch.
Yeah, so look, Axios sometimes takes a more establishment point of view, but man, Jonathan Swan's on fire. He also eviscerated Jared Kushner just a couple of days ago when he asked him about the birther controversy, and he wouldn't let it go. And Kushner's like, I didn't do it. He's like, he didn't want to say that it wasn't racist because it is, and he didn't want to blame Trump for it. But this one was really great journalism because Jonathan went and asked Salvini ahead of time. And that's some good legwork, knowing that Bannon is likely to say, oh, try to talk to Salvini. So he talked to him ahead of time and stone cold busted him. And you could tell how uncomfortable Bannon was all throughout because Jonathan Swan's prepared.
Yes.
Nice job, exactly what we want out of reporters. So Bannon's like, this quote's gonna get me in trouble. Please finish, right? And so he busts him on the first quote. Hey, you said you were gonna do all these amazing things. You didn't do anything, right?
Which, by the way, as my dad would say, thanks God. Thanks God he didn't do anything.
I know, totally.
Yeah.
But listen, if you're gonna do all this bragging, you gotta plan ahead, right? I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna set up war rooms, etc. Well, then I checked with my lawyers, I couldn't do any of that. Maybe you should have checked with the lawyers before saying that you were gonna do all that. And by the way, raising money to do all that, and then turn around and go, oops, I guess I can't do it. So that's another interesting question.
So part of his plan was essentially to use education to indoctrinate kids to the right wing, right? Or the right wing ideology. And I'm gonna give you the details on that in just a second. But I just wanted to comment on Jonathan Swan and how this is great journalism. Look, great journalism gets positive, validation, reinforcement, whatever you want to call it, because it's so rare these days. So when it happens, everyone wants to talk about it. Everyone gives you props. So do good journalism. You guys have the resources, you have the ability to do it, right? And so, yeah, you're absolutely right. The Kushner interview got positive attention. This is getting positive attention. And more importantly, keep in mind that politicians and political figures have not never, but in most cases, haven't had to deal with difficult questions or challenging questions, so they don't come prepared.
100%. This is what we talked about yesterday in my interview with Michael Bennet, the senator from Colorado, when I was in Iowa. I was asking him questions about Medicare for All that apparently he's never been asked before. So he says he's opposed to the plan and wound up admitting that it's actually the Cadillac package and quote, awesome insurance. So look, sometimes we criticize mainstream media, not because we're, naturally inclined to do that, but because we feel like, no, you should be more aggressive with politicians and hold them accountable. And there's a critique that we do based on the facts. But if the facts indicate that you're doing great journalism, we love it. We can't wait to celebrate it. I mean, the way that he's like, well, who would say that? I mean, think about the effort and the work he had to put in to know that Bannon would say Salvini.
Exactly.
And they called him ahead of time and said, Salvini says he barely knows you. And then you see Bannon go, man, knockout. Stone cold knockout.
Yes. So what did Bannon want to accomplish in Europe and particularly in Italy? Well, according to the Washington Post, this is an older article, but it gives you some context into what he was planning on doing. Bannon had plans to train the next generation of nationalists and right-wing culture warriors at a medieval monastery in the mountains outside of Rome. But on Friday, this was on May 31st, the Italian government put those plans in severe doubt, announcing that it intends to revoke the rights to the property, citing among its reasons a failure to pay concession fees and do maintenance work.
He does no maintenance work on himself, let alone the property.
I wasn't gonna say anything, but come on.
I think I'm allowed to say that. So look, I don't know where Bannon is getting his money, but it's not going towards the purposes that he said it was going to go to, gladiator schools and all. And so that should be a note of concern apparently. But whoever's giving Bannon money, I love that it's being wasted.
Oh, totally.
So couldn't be happier about that. Keep going in the direction of doing absolutely nothing. 2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below, then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.